Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, I guess good evening would apply here since most of the audience is going to be in Europe. But for my case and for my lovely co-caster and producer's case, it's a good afternoon. Welcome back to Fireside Cast. I am Eki in the booth with Siyo on production and on the co-cast. We've got the 1v1 MGE.TF World Championship coming at you right now. It's the European qualifier for the championship. Winner gets an all expenses paid trip to the World Championship LAN in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that is going to be something very, very awesome. Very sick to look forward to. So they've got something to compete. They've got things under their belt. I think one of the players coming into this game, our matchup, X versus Huge, I believe X won the Russian qualifier in Siyo.
Yes.
This is not you in your picture.
I know it's not
This
me.
is not you.
Well, actually, it is me if you want to imply it's me.
This is my great friend. This is my great friend Benpel. Come on now. This is not you.
I had to steal an identity, you know. I didn't have a profile photo, so we had to rock with this for now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, many such cases. Many such cases. I wonder if he still ate the what did he say he was gonna eat? The boot or like a shoe or something?
Yeah.
Like what did he say?
He said he was supposed to eat some kind of boot, but I don't know. He hasn't really lived up to those expectations, so I guess
I know a guy who can grill it and make it somewhat tolerable. I know a guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, X won the qualifier, Russian qualifier versus Ty. Or I don't know how to fully pronounce his name, so my apologies for that. But it's gonna be a good time, I would assume. Windows and notification. I think we should be getting ready. There's some new maps though for this MGE championship that the admins have made for us. So we got X versus Huge. So I guess it's the number 1 seed versus the number 8 seed, but really, all things considered, there is no real seeding in this tournament. Everybody's got similar skill levels, but obviously there are some undisputed bests, and I think everybody wants to see X and how he'll perform in this event.
Yeah, I've gotten high hopes for X here, knowing that they've won the Russian qualifier. I don't really know much about anybody else coming into this tournament, really. I have not kept up with the MGE scene, so to speak. So hopefully we have some good matches ahead of us as I frantically click through the spectator cameras to get onto somebody. There we go, finally. But I
think we're going
live. I think we're going live right now. It's going to be a scout versus a soldier duel on Arena Node 1v1 here. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Scout versus Soldier really does not tend to bode well for the Scout player unless they can get themselves some early height, but in the case of X here, they've got the shotgun going for them, so they should be able to mop it up even if they go onto the high ground. They'll just take the hit scan, de-hit scan fight, and that's what we're seeing happen right now. Nice upward direct to juggle up Huge there, so early on, getting a 4-1 lead, now 5-1. Putting up a strong start.
Yeah, this is a pretty weird map because obviously it's kind of reminiscent of like what is it, the jungle ulti duo map. So you pretty much have the advantage if you're the soldier. But obviously there is the stairwells that actually give the scout the ability to close the distance by jumping up and hopefully taking control of the spire. But nice upward direct from X makes it 7-2, and this is actually looking pretty good for X. You know, this guy is one of the favorites. Obviously, you know, barring any international visa issues, we'd love to see this guy on land because he is one of the touted best MGEers from the European scene.
I mean, he's putting that on full display right now. 10-3, up now by 8 as he gets his 11th pick of the game. Now 12th. Trying to put up as big a lead as possible, make it as difficult as possible for Huge to even mount some kind of comeback. And they're playing this very well, constantly maneuvering between the different spots of height that he can control. Now, granted, there's not too much, but there is quite a bit that he's able to get to. Now, Huge does find a nice pick there, making X take himself out with a rocket, but he immediately claims that kill back. It's another 10-point lead up above Huge here. Up at 16-5. He's putting on a clinic here. I mean, Huge has gotten some good picks here, but the way it's going right about now, it looks like X probably going to win this map, and most likely will win out the series, because if I am not mistaken, all of these maps will be played as a best of 3 on the map, and then we have a best of 3 on the series. So you have 3 maps where 3 rounds each are played on the map.
That is correct. That is correct.
From my understanding.
So it's technically like it could go like all 9 games in a single series, but X is not showing any signs of him wanting to go the distance here. He wants to finish it quick and clean, because he's just doing this soldier rocket 1-2 combo, the quick swap onto the rockets to the shotgun, and he's just making a meal out of Huge. Honestly, it's kind of making you question, do you really want to keep playing Scout on this map? But obviously we don't know Huge's skill set versus X. X is just a beast though right now as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, putting up great numbers here, 6-1. Stronger start than the previous map. I think got cut down early, 4-1. So, being able to get yourself an early start where you have that much of a lead is going to be very, very strong.
Ooh.
Now 8-2. Oh my goodness.
Dude, this guy is just blowing him out of the sky. It's literal duck hunt here. Just shooting Huge before he can even get his feet on the ground. It's honestly just so hard here for Huge to close the distance, because really the Scout's potency is being able to close the distance and being able to dodge and weave around the soldier. But when the soldier has the ability to switch to a hit scan with the shotgun, it's kind of hard to, because you got to dodge your rocket, then you got to hope that he doesn't flick and hit you for 100 at the minimum.
I wonder if this is a case where you kind of have to consider swapping your class. I don't know what the rulings are for MGE.TF on whether or not you're able to swap your class mid-game, but I imagine you would be able to. I imagine it just gives the point to the other team, or to the other player, I should say.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I mean, I would imagine that you would probably want to swap off a Scout at this point. You'd want to mirror the Soldier matchup, which sounds boring, I know, but that is kind of how this match is turning into. It's 18-5 right now. If Huge does not claw their way back from this, they got one more life to do so. They lose this map, and they'll have to move on to the next one. Actually, I think so.
Yeah. That is map 1. That is Node going the way of X, and pretty straightforward. You know, straight up beat up, I guess, so to say. Nothing really to I guess, say about X. It's just more so Huge. It's just like getting outclassed in terms of individual skill. But obviously, you got to question in a 1v1 where the soldier not only has the rockets but also the shotgun. You kind of wonder if it was just purely projectile versus scattergun, then would that have turned out differently? But never mind. We can't reminisce about the past. We got to move on to the future, because we are on to the next map, which is Silo.
Yeah, and this is another interesting matchup. Demo v Soldier going to be the class picks for this game. And this is another one that feels a little bit awkward, because you sacrifice your hit scan for double projectiles. And I think you were closer to being right when you were on Scout than you are closer to being right with you on Demo. You're sacrificing the ability to do... You're sacrificing the ability to do sustainable hit scan damage for projectiles. And while you can, if you do hit the projectiles, you can do great damage. You've also got a guy jumping into you at, say, Mach 7 half the time, constantly landing on top of you, and has the sustainability of long-range hit scan damage, or even just being up in your face can do that hit scan damage. So it definitely is a closer match with Huge on Demo than on Scout, but we'll have to see how this one goes, because it's already 10-4. We just got here, 10-5. Huge mops up a sticky pick, but immediately reclaimed by X here.
Well, as you can see, Huge is just starting off by trying to do some area denial from, like, you know, just pre-aiming that sticky to deny X the ability to close the distance, because once you let X get up close, he can just quick switch to the shotgun and just hit you for 100. So it's really hard for Huge. He has to hope that he can just land the sticky right and hope that X does not close the distance just like that. You see, like, he just air strikes the sticky into Huge and just cleans him up pretty quickly. But Huge is actually making it a lot closer compared to map 1, where on Scout, you know, he was just not able to get close enough to X and get the kills. But now he has a little more weapons at his disposal. But unfortunately, the katana will not allow him to avoid getting cut down right around the corner from X.
Yeah, it really looks like Huge is not having the best of times right now, but it is double digits across the board, 15-10, should be 16-10 now. as X is able to mop up another kill. 16-11 here. Huge just keeping it within 5, which is more than we could say for the scout performance. What a pipe, but unfortunately can't close it out. Down by 6, 17-11 for X here in favor of X. Now goes down, I guess too low, tried to go for the Minecraft. Nice air pipe to send X into the floor. Good mop up a pick here. If you play it properly, you should use your stickies here, and that's exactly what happens. They get another pick within 4. Oh my goodness! Huge is locked in. He's here, and he's here to stay. He does not want to go anywhere. He wants that trip to Philadelphia. He wants that trip to Pennsylvania. But unfortunately, that first round does not go their way. X does claim it, but they brought it pretty close.
You know, I'm liking it though. You gotta switch things up when you gotta have a backup plan when things go awry with your original plan. And I think Huge has found, you know, the blueprint to at least bring it back against X. But it's a matter of whether he's a day late and $1 short. Because right now he is down a map and he's down 2-0 in this, you know, this series point round against X.
Yeah, and this is where it all kind of boils down to. If X wins this, he wins the series. He wins all the maps, he wins all the games, and you lose in a shutout. And I honestly, you know, this might just be me speaking. I don't want to lose in a shutout. I want to at least put up 1 round bare minimum if I'm going to end up losing. And Huge right now is not off to a great start. Down 7, has nothing to show for it. Now down 8, still has nothing to show for it. Getting some decent damage, but no picks. But Caster's Curse for X there, right there, is Huge is able to mop up that pick, but it's immediately claimed back by X. The shotgun, like I'm talking about earlier, that hit scan comes in way more clutch than I feel like a lot of people give it credit for. And right now, wow, that's actually crazy that Huge lives there, I'm going to be honest. What a pipe! Oh my goodness!
It's all for style points, though. There's nothing to show for it, because if you can hit the pipes, you can't get the kills. As a matter of fact, you know, he makes me eat my words, but he's still down quite the deficit, Eki.
Yeah, I mean, you are still in a very bad spot here. You're down 10. You're looking to claw your way back into the fight. Now down 11. You do not have a lot of things going for you here. And we see that again with X strafing the air stickies into Huge to get in his face and force him to either potentially take himself out or do so much damage that it won't matter in the next life. X is able to get an easy free kill just based off the way that health works in MGE and can claw their way back in. Now, the double air sticky does make that a little bit rough. 2 HP, you're fighting a Debo that's playing around the corner. That's just a given. But it's 18-7 here, down 11 still. Now down 1. This is the final blow, the coup de grace, if you will. And it looks like X will deliver a blowout, a shutout. Not a perfect game, but it is a blowout shutout nonetheless. Wins it in just 2 maps and 4 rounds. Probably the fastest we will see throughout the night.
Man, it's really these new MGE maps that, you know, the people at MGE.TF have been able to make for us. It kind of shows you how much it's eliminated the potency of scouts to, you know, bob and weave around the map, especially against the soldier class. You can see how it happened in that first map. He was just getting absolutely shut out by X, having to resort to switching to the demo man there for that second map, which worked to some degree at first, but then once X started rolling, he never kept stopping. So, man, it's kind of rough, but it's kind of showing that these maps made by the MGE.TF people, from like a quick analysis standpoint, it's really making Scout less effective. And I kind of wonder, like, because we have, I guess, Silo, well, you just saw Silo being played out. Now we have Node. There's Badlands mid that was supposed to be played on this. Had we had gone to a third map, I kind of wonder, you know, do these teams like opting to going for these MGE custom maps, or will they go for the tried and true MGE cookie cutter arena? So
I feel like probably going for the tried and true, the cookie cutter, might give a little bit more, I guess, familiarity. You feel a little bit more comfortable. You'll feel a little bit more at peace, I guess you could say. And just feel a little bit more confident in your abilities. But also, I feel like if the map is determining your comfortability and ability to play. Maybe there's different things happening there, but I mean, the tried and true are the tried and true for a reason. They're good, they're comfy, they're homey. You know, that's where everybody plays MGE. Everybody starts playing MGE on Badlands Middle, Badlands Spire. You know, that's just where everybody starts playing MGE, and I'm interested to see, like you said, whether we're going to be having more of the custom MGE.TF maps, or are we going to be having the tried and trues? Because I think we're going to be having a lot of Badlands. I think that is, I think that's just a given. We're going to be having a lot of Badlands. Probably more Spire. Well, no, I think we're going to have more mid than we will have Badlands Spire. But beyond that, I don't really imagine any of the other cookie cutter maps. Maybe product mid, I could see happening. But beyond that, I don't imagine anything else really coming out of the tried and true maps.